What is up, you guys? This is JP here. Today's video was kind of sparked because of something that happened to me with another trainer probably about 2 days ago. A trainer asked for my help with her deadlift, and as we're talking, going back and forth, I'm trying to kind of work out the kinks in her deadlift. I was trying to help her with her technique to get a little bit stronger. Eventually we got to the conclusion that she did not like the sumo deadlift. She was doing a sumo deadlift. She wanted a little bit more emphasis on the quads. For those of you who don't know, a sumo deadlift is going to engage the quads more than a conventional deadlift. To simplify that, the quads work in the sumo deadlift the same way the triceps work in a bench press. But she wanted a little bit more quad work, and then she said that she's seen a lot of girls also do sumo deadlift. It's a very popular style of lift for women. It's not easier, again, I did a whole video on that. It's not easier than conventional deadlift, it's just different. But eventually, after talking to her about her form and kind of working through the steps, we came to the conclusion that she just did not like sumo and she liked conventional more. And I told her, well, why are you doing sumo then? And then again, she explained to me that she wanted the extra quad work, and then she's seen someone else do it. So as you can tell by the title of this video, one thing that I recommend for everyone to do is to not feel like you are going to be, don't feel like you have to be forced into specific trends or techniques because a lot of people are doing it. In this example that I just told you, is she was doing a sumo deadlift to get extra quad work, and she was forcing it and forcing it and forcing it when she verbally told me that she hates the sumo deadlift. She didn't like doing it, it felt uncomfortable, it felt natural, and she spent months doing it over and over and over, and luckily nothing bad happened. She didn't get an injury, nothing like that. But again, she spent all that time doing something she doesn't like. What I told her was, instead of doing the sumo deadlift for quad work, why not simplify it? Do the conventional deadlift because you like doing the conventional deadlift. It's easier for you, it feels better. And then instead of doing the sumo for quad work, for extra quad work, why not just add a couple sets on a different exercise that targets the quads? I said, for her, I was like, okay, well, what other exercises do you do? She said she did split squats, Bulgarian split squats, and she also does barbell back squat. So I was like, okay, and why don't you switch your sumo to a conventional style? Yeah, you'll get a little less quads, a little bit more back emphasis on the conventional, but instead add just maybe 1 or 2 more sets, like 1 set on back squat and add an extra set on your split squat, so that'll kind of make up for the lack of quad work. And she did that. After switching to conventional, it felt a lot better. I seen her form was a lot better. It basically fixed all the problems right there just by switching to the different style. Now this goes for everyone doing this. If there's something that you feel like that fits you a little bit better, that's not too wacky. I'm not saying go to extremes with stuff, but if there's something simple like a sumo versus a conventional, don't feel peer pressured or don't feel like you have to do one form because X person said so. Even me, I make a lot of tip videos saying that this might help you or this might help you, but you guys need to remember, even when it comes to the very sciencey guys, the evidence-based practitioners, all the smart people on YouTube for fitness, you have to remember that they're talking a lot of the times in averages. They're not talking for every single specific individual. And I bet you if that expert were to talk to you as an individual, they would say, no, that advice I was giving was something for you to try. It's not something that you have to do. Again, there are certain things that I would recommend that everyone do, but there are very few black and whites in fitness. So just remember that don't feel like don't be pigeonholed into one certain form, like I said about the sumo and the conventional deadlift styles. This goes for, let me give you guys another example, the bench press. I've read, and this probably makes sense, is that when you go a wider grip on the bench press, it decreases the range of motion that you have to move the bar, and if you can maximize and master that form of a very wide grip on bench press, that's within the legal limits of powerlifting, you could probably lift more weight. But for me, whenever I went super, super wide on bench press, it just did not feel good. Now, I did end up going a little bit wider on my bench press, but not as wide as videos from people that I actually like that they recommended. And again, because they're not talking to every single individual. So even though in theory that a super wide bench press, maximizing your width on the bench press might potentially help you push more weight, if it's something that you try and you don't like it, don't feel like you're in the wrong for maybe, like in my case, just going a little wider and not as wide as people were recommending to me. So again, for all the people who see advice, don't feel like you need to be forced into it, and don't just, you gotta think that adherence and what you enjoy and what feels good to you says a lot. You know, personal experience does say a lot. Now again, I'm very big on science and evidence, but I don't think that it doesn't trump personal experience in every case, especially when it comes down to a specific style. Now, if there's something where evidence is very strong and you're completely going against it and it's not a personal choice, it's just something that you were doing, then of course, listen to the science. But there are many cases like the ones I just gave you that I would personally recommend you just do with what you like, pick the form that you like, and again, don't feel like you're pigeonholed into one thing because this person says it, this person says it, this person says it. If someone says sumo is cheating, but you like doing sumo, don't listen to the person, just do sumo. It's not cheating. That's just one example. The bench press example, you don't have to go super wide grip. If you like a regular grip or just slightly wider, if that feels good for you, then just stick to that. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.